Hi, I'm Valerie Idehen, Saybrook class of 2004. I sang alto in Shades.
I'm Creswell Formey, Ezra Styles, class of 92. I work in fashion and my avocation is jazz singing.
Great. What part did you sing in Shades?
Oh, I was a tenor, right,
Okay.
to mention that. Yeah.
Sound like you could go low down to bass.
Well, nowadays, yeah, I got the Sarah Vaughan register rocking lately, but yeah, it's more of a baritone now, yeah, but yeah, I was high tenor back then, TT will tell you.
Got some questions here. Your time in Shades and also, what you're up to now and I guess how Shades kind of informed that.
We started the group, actually the germ of the group came from TT Nguyen, who came up to me were you in prop, TT? She was in prop with me, that's right, playing the saxophone, duh. Anyway, she comes up to me one day, I'd love to start a singing group on campus because she, I'd been singing around and she'd heard me and I'd heard her. And I was like, well, that sounds like fun, and we got some more people like-minded in other, places. And we would do it that doesn't sound right. We would, excuse me, we would convene together in each other's dorm rooms.
Right.
And rehearse, and I think our first performance was maybe for Black Solidarity Day, am I right? And Shut Dee Do was the song, which was donated by Tanya Farmer from her time in high school. That was a tune that, so she contributed that. And we got quite a response, a very, positive response, from, the larger community. And we were invited to sing at other functions, but our repertoire, as I recall, was not that variegated. So you had people like stand-up comedians on campus saying, I saw Shades at Black Solidarity Day. Shut the door, keep out the door. And then I saw Shades at Black History Month. Shut the door, keep, and so, but then things got better, we got our groove, a lot of people contributed a lot of different ideas.
Just kind of grew from there.
Yeah, kind of grew from there.
Cool. All right. Let's see. What was your role in the early days in Shades? Did you hold any positions?
I was one of the two token guys, as I recall, in the very, very beginning. Me and my running partner, my buddy Jimmy Raines, were the two guys holding down the ends, and we were kind of the clown princes of the group. We had a lot of, we did a little mugging and all, how singing groups are. So, and I had quite a few solos, actually.
What songs did you solo?
Well, there was a Luther tune, Wait for Love, that we would do.
One of the best.
Yeah, the Jam Tonight, Freddie Jackson.
Yeah.
Is She Really Going Out With Him started. I started that ball rolling.
Nice.
I think TT might have donated that song.
Cool.
So those are some of the things.
So you mentioned you were one of two guys in the beginning.
Guys. Yeah.
What was it like being, I think of my Shades experience, we all became friends, we rehearsed and traveled together a lot, and we spent a lot of time outside of Shades time together. So I'm just wondering what that experience was like for you to be, a guy with a group of women.
Well, that whole split for me doesn't exist because for our class, it's a completely different experience from all the classes that came after us. We were friends to begin with. Most of all of us were, our circles interacted anyway. So Shades time and Friends time were interchanged. They interlocked. Quite a bit.
Right.
So and as far as being around a group of women, I grew up in a house full of women.
Right. So what are your most memorable moments in the group?
Well, one period that I remember is
say
gotcha. Yeah, let me reiterate. See what I mean? I'm not answering the questions right.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
All right.
Well, one of the most memorable times for me in the group was when we decided to try to be a part of the singing group council. And I remember I was kind of resistant at first. I felt like some sort of authenticity would be taken away, and I didn't know what a good thing would be. And so there was a little tension, as I recall. But when we did and we were accepted, it was just amazing, to be at jams and to perform in jams with all these other established groups. Mm-hmm. And the reception we got was just so resounding. Mm-hmm. It just blew us away. Mm-hmm. Because I remember a lot of trepidation. Right. And wow, we're gonna be good enough. Right. And we got up there and shook our money makers and did the damn thing. And the great. Rest is history. So that was a really gratifying feeling to know that I had been a part of that process. Right. However resistant I was at first. Right. But yeah, so that first jam.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
What was it like shaping the repertoire? I know you mentioned that first it was just Shut-Dee-Do and
Shut-Dee-Do.
And you tried to some didn't work.
And Shut-Dee-Do.
So, was it touchy?
Shaping the repertoire was fun because we would all come with a basket of ideas and yay or nay, and as Lionel Richie would say.
That's how it went, people just throw it out and be like,
that ain't it, honey, But that was a lot of fun, just combing through our own, little archives in our heads, and the kinds of things we like to sing and the kinds of flavors we wanted to represent. Right. So it was just fun to see. Wow, and wow, you mentioned that same song that I have on here on my list.
Right.
Huh. And a lot of times we'd have these choices that weren't so great. And you'd feel that too.
Right.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and Kim Dixon was our choreographer, and just all the times we'd get together and talk about the steps. Are we going to do these steps now? And just a real fun time. A real creative time.
Cool. Yeah. Remember any Shades catchphrases?
Oh, let's pause.
I know. Can you pause? Taking it back a little bit, but
catchphrases. Help me, TT. 502, Lord. That's terrible. Are we gonna do the 502?
Yeah, because
oh my God, we gotta talk about 502.
Yes, you gotta talk about 502
and clearly. I can't.
You make me feel so bad.
Oh, the Mom's Mabley joke. Oh Lord.
That's one that Travis brought up.
Oh, Travis.
Oh my goodness. Yes. This is like so different than any of the catchphrases from.
Oh my.
And rat.
That's right. Oh my God.
So, okay.
Okay.
Oh my God. What a. Oh. Give me a second. I can't even get it together. Just pause for a second. You gotta walk me into this. Okay.
So, do you remember any Shades catchphrases?
Oh my God, we had this little thing we'd say whenever we wanted to say, normal people would say 5 or 6, we'd say 5 or 2. Don't ask.
5 or 6 what?
5 or 6 songs, come with a list of 5 or 2 songs, we would say. Because there was this homeless guy, God bless his heart, I don't know where he is today, but he used to always hang out in front of Morrison Styles, and he would always ask if you had $5 or $2. And we went, $5 or $2? And so it was just the funniest thing to us, and so we just would always extrapolate that into a song. I think at one jam we had like a 5, a 0, and a 2 in the background, didn't we? It was insanity. Just the things you remember. Right?
That's funny.
5 or 2. And God, Tanya took this and ran with it. We just had this little thing where I don't know what it means. Don't ask. It was just a way of expressing alarm or disdain, or whatever have you, and so we just took it and ran.
Oh, man.
Just silly kid stuff,
Wow.
Oh, man.
Well,
I haven't thought about this stuff in years, by the way.
I think that energy runs true even today.
Does it really?
Shades, yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm sure the phrases are different.
Oh,
but
yeah, sure.
That
Cyber
energy
age.
definitely, yeah.
What were the phrases in your time?
We had this one thing where somebody was up there soloing or somebody was just riffing the heck out of a song and killing it. We'd be like, yes, Lord, yes, Lord. LAWD.
Lord.
Yes, Lord.
Yes, Lord.
So that was one.
That's funny.
What was another one? We had a bunch. That's the one that jumps out to me. I'll think of some more. I'll let you know. I'll get back to you. Cool. So, what do you think is the most important thing you took away from your Shades experience?
At the risk of sounding maudlin, I took a yes we can kind of feeling away.
Can you reiterate the question?
Y'all getting on my nerve.
Just so we can
Right.
possibility.
Right.
So say the question.
I'll say it again. Okay.
And then
So, what do you think is the most important thing that you took away from your Shades experience?
Well, the most important thing I think I took away from the experience was the idea that anything is possible.
Right.
At the risk of sounding like I'm pandering for the president right now, but yes, we can
Right.
do anything we want to do.
Right.
There's nothing that's impossible.
Right. Right.
Yeah. That's the first thing that comes to mind. It's really hard to dredge up all those memories, but that's the most important thing that I remember.
So,
There were a lot of resistance,
Yeah.
from the other singing groups, because it wasn't like it is now.
so what was that like? Other groups weren't
Well,
accepting of Shades?
well, no, not at first, and that's, normal in any kind of,
So what kind of resistance did you...
well, just who are these upstarts? Why do we need another singing group in the council? And who do they think they are? And, that kind of,
Competition, I guess.
yeah, internecine squabbling, just, you know how kids can be.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. What music are you listening to these days? Did I already ask you
yeah,
this?
we did that, I think, let us in.
Do you think that songs can change the world?
Absolutely. I absolutely believe songs can change the world.
How so?
Wow, you're putting me on the spot. Just think of people like Sam Cooke and Marvin Gaye and their messages, and Bob Marley and John Lennon and Bob Dylan, and how those messages resonate. The lyrics, not only the melody, but the lyrics resonate
Right.
throughout generations,
Right.
and have become
Anthems,
catchphrases,
yeah.
in our daily lives. So, and have changed the ways in which that process,
Right.
however resistant I was at first.
Right.
But yeah, so that first jam
That's a
would
good
be the most
story.
memorable. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
What was it like shaping the repertoire? I know you mentioned that first it was just shut-de-do and
and shut-de-do,
and then, you tried to
And
stuff
we amen, we
out,
shut it
and
go.
some didn't work.
And shut-de-do,
So, was it touchy?
Shaping the repertoire was fun because we would all come with a basket of ideas and yay or nay, and as Lionel Richie was.
That's how it went. People
right.
just throw it out and be like,
that ain't it, honey. But that was a lot of fun, just combing through our own, little archives in our heads, and the kinds of things we like to sing and the kinds of flavors we wanted to represent.
Right.
So it was just fun to see. Wow, and wow, you mentioned that same song that I have on here on my list.
Right. Huh.
And a lot of times we'd have these choices that weren't so great, and you feel that too.
Right.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and Kim Dixon was our choreographer, and just all the times we'd get together and talk about the steps. Are we gonna do these steps now? And just a real fun time, a real creative time.
Cool.
Yeah.
What do you enjoy about jazz music?
The fact that it is one of the most freeing musics for me personally. And I need to answer the question.
Right.
The thing I love the most about jazz is the freedom you have in any given moment. You can swoop or soar as a soloist or as part of an ensemble. Well, as part of an ensemble, you gotta kind of keep it reined in. But jazz is the perfect microcosm for democracy. For me, because everybody is equally important and everybody has something different to say that adds to the gumbo, and I find that just thrilling, especially in the times in which we're living now. It's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Love it.
If there were, you may not have followed the Shades repertoire after you've left the group, but if there were 3 songs that were not in the repertoire when you were there, or you haven't heard that they're part of the repertoire now, what 3 songs would you suggest?
Oh wow, that's a great question. Oh boy, that's a great question. Was that on there?
I know, that was off the top of the dome.
Damn good. Wow. Oh man, what would I like to see Shades singing now?
Yeah.
I would love to see Shades do some Fisk Jubilee Singers type. This earthly house is gonna soon decay. I would love to see that. That flavor. I would love also to see more of the continuum of history represented. I don't want to hear a lot of Beyonce or we love Beyonce. Nothing wrong with Beyonce. But I would love to see history.
Right.
Shining through its repertoire. I would like to hear maybe a little ragtime ditty here and there. I'd like to hear, the spirituals are going to be there.
Right.
Some blues.
Right.
That kind of stuff I would love to sing because that was always the vision of Shades to uphold that legacy.
Right. In 20 years, could Shades sing Beyonce?
Well, maybe.
Maybe.
We
right?
shall see. We shall see.
We'll see what
We shall
happens.
see. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about improvisation? And if you could ask the question.
Sure.
Thank you.
What's the
How
question?
do I feel about
improv?
improvisation?
Improvisation. And did it have a place in Shades for you back then? Or
That's a
and
big
now?
question.
Okay. Right. Okay. So, how do you feel about improvisation? Was that ever a part of Shades? Did it have a place?
Certainly. We had a lot of leeway with the solos to just show your stuff. Get your groove on. It's very important. Improvisation is very important in the sense that, once again, ties back into the freedom aspect of expression. Back in the day, we had a lot of fun with our solos. We weren't stuck to a rigid, way of singing.
Right. What about skits and humor?
Oh, skits! We were just nuts. We were all over that. I was Diana Ross one Halloween. I remember Raquel was Tina Turner. Travis was a sailor. Oh God! Just silly stuff. We did all kind of.
Kelly.
Wow, yeah, you guys would go places. I would keep up with with what you guys were doing through TT and other people. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It is.
From our humble beginnings.
Right.
Some people describe Shades as a family. Would you characterize it like that, or what would you say about that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Some people describe Shades as a family. Would you characterize the group that way?
In a lot of ways, we were like a family.
How so?
The fights, the squabbles,
The infamous fight.
and just and we weren't just fighting all the time.
Right.
Obviously, we were creating something.
Right.
There was a lot of fun that we had back then, and a lot of memories, and a lot of friendships that were forged, and a lot of bonds. So in that sense, yes, we were like a family then. It's not like now where we did start tapping people. My class was the first class to start tapping people. But just to hear what Shades has become now is mind-boggling to me from
what it was.
From whence we came.
Yeah. So you said that there was a lot of resistance from the Singing Group Council, and we all know that Yale has a tradition of tons of a cappella groups, and there was all this concern, why do we need another a cappella group? And so I'm wondering, from your perspective, what made Shades different, or what still makes Shades different from all the other a cappella groups on campus?
What made us different was our sense of flavor. There were a lot of times when the repertoire would overlap with some of the other groups, but we had our own spin to it,
twist to it,
the flavor.
Yeah. What are some of the songs that overlapped with other groups?
Well, some of the Motown things.
Oh, okay.
I can't think of anything right now, but we always tried to give it, and I know this is a loaded term, but a sense of authenticity to the root. A little gut bucket,
A little extra
a little fire.
A little stank on it. I know.
You know what I'm saying.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes. So that's what set us apart.
Okay.
Yeah.
So seeing all that change, there were lots of different types of people in the group, lots of different cultural backgrounds. I found the group to be pretty accepting of people who had maybe never sang gospel before, R&B, and it was an interesting amalgam of people and voices and talent. And so I'm wondering, when you guys started, was there that kind of anything goes, anyone can join, open arms vibe, or was it very much so like you had to be classically trained or had to read music?
We were not an elite group at all. We were just a group of people who liked singing. Well, and it's right, yes. We became elite. But, yes, good one. But, yes, we had folks from just about every background you can mention. And everybody added a little something to the stew. I keep going back to these gumbo metaphors. I don't know, I must be homesick. But, yes, everybody contributed a little slice of themselves.
Yeah.
Which made it interesting. That also set us apart from a lot of the other groups who were doing, the same treacly kind of stuff.
Huh. So that's something that has probably lasted time and stayed with the group.
I would love to hear the group now, yeah. So what place does music have in your life now?
Well, music has always been a part of my life. I'm from a big family. We entertained ourselves all the time with jokes and music and laughter, so it's just always kind of been close to me like that, and I would say it's pretty much the same. Music probably played a bigger role when I was in high school and college because I did sing in performance groups, and which I don't now, but I've always got music going. I'm always humming along. I'm obsessed with VH1 Soul. I worked in the music business for a few years, so yeah.
Can music change the world?
Yes, I think music can change the world just like poetry can change the world and art can change the world. It has a way of speaking to the depths of the human soul in a way that just normal conversation might not, or, news, the way the media puts it out. There's walls there and there are barriers there, and it makes it very business and very official, and I think that music has a way of getting beneath the surface and healing people or helping you kind of work through whatever you're going through in a really spiritual way, in a positive way, and in a way that can really move you forward.
Some Angela Bofill.
15 years from now, 20 years from now, you're dropping names I've never heard of, so that's a problem. You see what I'm saying? And I don't know that history passes down through the group, and so for me, that's something I would really want to see, that lineage continue, that sense of history, and just continuing to move through the group, whether it's 10 years later, 50 years later.
That's important.
The whiff and poofs, whether you're tapped in 2009 or you're tapped in 1990, that it's the oldest collegiate group. You can see the old pictures.
Yeah.
You're singing the same music even if you're adding new stuff in, and I feel like that history will always be
That's
there.
a legacy,
Will always
definitely.
be the foundation, and I want that same thing for shades.
Yeah, the Whiff and Poof song is a standard.
Right.
You know, wow.
Right.
You'd like
Right.
to see that kind of,
Just
wow.
that kind of foundation, rock solid foundation with shades, not going anywhere. And I don't know if it really transfers through to different generations. It might be a matter of older alums having to stay connected with the younger alums, you know.
You are two intensely creative people. How do you find inspiration? Where do you find your inspiration?
I find my inspiration just about all around me. It surrounds me everywhere. In a little child's smile. I know it sounds maudlin, hackneyed, but it's true. The inspiration comes from the most unexpected places, and it is always around you. There is a wealth of energy to tap into to create. It's especially in an environment such as this, in this city. Yes, so I find inspiration all over the place.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And more specifically, especially as it relates to my business, I find inspiration in magazines, images, music, the internet, poetry,
The president.
his wife.
LLL.
Very
The
seriously.
babies.
Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, everything.
And the last question I have is, you're both strong individuals. What do you do to foster the strength to keep expressing the individual? Because there's so many forces that want you to conform. How do you do it? How do you do it?
The way I keep grounded is I have a very syncretic approach to faith. I chant like mad, and I have found that really centers me and keeps a lot of the negativity out of the frame. I stay focused. Music focuses me. It soothes. Film is a big inspiration for me.
Well, I think I owe a lot of credit to the way I was raised in my family, you know, being from a different country and a different culture. You know, there were outside forces pulling on us, but my family was very insular and had very specific requirements. You know, education was a big part, and responsibility and integrity, and so that was definitely instilled in me at a young age. And you know, I have to, of course, attribute Prep for Prep and my experience at Deerfield and Yale for building that resilience. And in terms of just, you know, continuing to express yourself and maintain your individuality and continuing to produce, I think that my time at MTV Networks really honed that, because for a while I did try to climb the corporate ranks and conform, and I was getting a lot of feedback that like the person who I am is not going to work in a corporate setting, and so I thought something was wrong with me, and I had to curb my enthusiasm and try to fit the model. And 4 years later, I just arrived at the person I have always been, just maybe a little wiser. And so I think that experience of coming back to yourself is actually reassuring, and you realize that you're a lot happier just being who you are.
Do you?
And do you, rather than trying to be someone else. And, you know, I would venture to say that most Shades people are so intensely creative and unique that, like, you can't really escape yourself. You may try, but you're going to end up coming back to yourself. Mm-hmm. So why not save the headache and the drama?
Just do you.
Just do you. Word.
Word.
To your mother.
Word up.
Word to your mother.